Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore. And we are attempting still to get Dante's good ending. We got the best ending, and the last part we started going down the normal / good ending, and we're still doing it because it's long. So here we are. We should probably get our good ending in this part, and then we'll start our bad endings and see. He's got a tragic bad ending and then just 2 other bad endings. I don't know if they're super long. I don't know if they're going to be quick like most bad endings or if they're going to be long like this one, but I mean, I appreciate the content. Like, it's long and I was like, Jesus, this is going on forever, but we've gotten a lot of stuff and it's like a whole separate chapter than the good ending, like the best ending, but like, I like it. They give us so much shit, so. Anyway, we are in our last Meanwhile story with others, or Emilio in this case, I guess. To think that I helped beyond my role and intervened in such a way. I looked up at the early morning twilight and sighed. That card and grill was quite a pain to sneak out of the church. Dante Falzone, I don't understand why you don't use the Joker card I gave you. Well, I suppose that's also what you see in your eyes. That's why what you see in your eyes is so interesting to me. I don't mind lending another hand, but I wonder how that will go. It seems like he delivered my card and understood what I was trying to relay. The starlight told me, the end will come before the morning twilight fades. Ooh, that sounds ominous. Okay, I'll pray for him. Okay. The night was still dark with no trace of light in the sky. The hour was as silent as any other day. At least that's how it seemed. Most of the men had departed the manor. There weren't many left now. Dante isn't here either. Just thinking about where he was going made a shadow of anxiety loom in my mind. Dante promised me, so what I need to do now is believe in him. Yeah, and this is supposed to be a good ending, normal ending, so he can't die. You gotta save that for the bad endings. I prayed in silence, awaiting his return. But it's amazing that in the best ending we were involved in the battle, and now in the good ending, well, I guess will be from Dante's perspective, but... The Falzone and the Visconti began their attack on the Lao Shu's base. Go and cover the back of the building. They may have an escape route there. We have special guests with us, so be careful when you shoot. Boss, I have a message from Nicola. He said there are more enemies than expected. They may have been in hiding. What? They've already called for reinforcements? Guess they were already a step ahead. Oh well, everyone get ready. Y'all better not die on me. Leave it to us, boss. That's their version of Leo. They were all normal lackeys. They just don't have eyes, but that other guy with the floppy hair was like, that's the Visconti version of Leo. Let Nicola know to prioritize defense. Keep everyone safe until we encounter Yang. Understood. This will take a while. I thought victory was ours, but it seemed things had taken a turn. If the Lao Shu is reinforcements, they may have more men than us. You know him, Dante? Orlok. He's with the church. By the will of the church, I have come to help. Help? Not the church abandoned the Falzone. The church has made their final decision. The one who backed the Lao Shu will be excommunicated. And the church will support the well-being of Berlone as before. Which is why I'm here. I've come to fulfill my duties as a disciple. Orlok brandished his dagger and ran off. He immediately slashed through the Lao Shu and dove into the building. Alright. You're like, alright! Boss! A message from the underboss! Yang's nowhere to be found! That's odd. With his personality, I expected he'd charge us at any time. Oh? You're referring to me? Gilbert and I quickly turned around at the surprisingly close voice behind us. Yang's been standing there the whole time, like... And the boss is like, guys? What are you talking about? Dude, but, like, no, seriously, like, turn around and here he is. Hey! Some creepy fucking ventriloquist dummy hiding on you in a haunted house. Ugh. So, snuck out beforehand, did ya? You must have honed your animal instincts to do that. Killing grunts is boring. I'd rather chew on something more enticing. Yang smiled eerily and brandished his weapon. He was wielding two oddly curved swords known as Shangao in the east. I don't know what that is. Shao? I don't know how to. I can't. I don't know how. Anyway, I can't wait to see how you two fare. Don't let me down. Gilbert quickly put his gun up and fired repeatedly. Yang quickly reacted to the sound of gunfire. Ha! With astounding physical prowess, Yang leapt and avoided the shots. I aimed my gun at Yang's chest and carefully pulled the trigger. Now here's what you have to do. You have to anticipate, is he going left or right, and then quickly move. You're gonna I'm gonna pull the trigger, and you gotta move your gun before he moves. Shoot to the left of him so he jumps to the left. Jumps right into the bullet. You just gotta be really good and time it. Just gotta know which way he's gonna go. Oh. Yang used his blade to deflect the shot. He then charged at us head on. Am I going to... No, that won't happen! I repeatedly fired my gun at Yang, who had closed in within striking range. His blade came in for the kill. I dodged Yang's thrust and kicked him away. But the blow didn't land squarely on him. It was then I felt a surge of pain running along my side. Oh no! Move back, Dante! Gil's shots forced Yang to make distance. Ah! Someone closed in on us. His attack knocked Gilbert off balance. I pointed my gun at the new assailant. You're helping him? Very stupid, Falzone. Yang quickly leapt toward me and closed in so close that I could see the whites of his eyes. With me unable to draw my arm, Yang raised his silver blade and... Orlok? Fresh blood splattered. A bullet flying in from an unexpected direction struck Yang on the arm. Nicola? Ah! Look, he's so precious. How about playing with me, Yang? Dante isn't the only Falzone around. And those who follow and believe in him will crush the Lao Shu for good. Oh, right. Is it Francesca? I want to say Francesca, but I cannot be right as somebody's last name. But anyway, Yang made the worst move of his life by turning his attention to Nicola. I carefully pointed my gun and shot him in the knee. Oh, really? Shoot to kill, Dante! Shoot to kill! God, you're in the Mafia. Gonna need you to man up a little. Even if Yang could bear the pain, he wouldn't be able to move like before. Take this! Ah! I turned around to see Gilbert finishing off the man called Lee. Nicola, Gilbert, and I circled Yang, who was the only one remaining. You won't be winning anymore. Give up, Yang. The night was drawing to a close, and Yang's eerie laughter resounded across Veleno. Amazing! I haven't had this much fun in a while. Yet you're telling me to give up? To end it? That I cannot accept. Right. He's already gone mad. He continued to laugh in a pool of his own blood. He seeks battles at the cost of his limbs. He's a man with nothing to protect. Even to himself, he's a mere pawn. Gilbert's like, I'm gonna kill him. Kill him! There's no need to keep him alive. Gilbert spoke coldly as he holstered his gun. As head of his family, he continued. The Lao Shu aren't the amicable type, and they're not like any of us. Everything will be finished by killing Yang and whatever remains of the Lao Shu. It's your duty, Dante Falzone. Listen to him. If you don't kill me, I'll just come back for more. I believe him. How could I not be entertained by such fun? I'd die for it. You're right. I'll end this. I held my gun up. I pointed it at Yang's head. My finger pulled the trigger without hesitation. Good boy. Good boy. I'm sorry, but Dante, you can't hesitate in this case. That was easy. I could still hear the gunfire going on not far away. Let's go, Nicola. Our men are still fighting. Heading to the front lines? You're a boss, you know. Oh, well, just don't die on us, will ya? I'm sure our men will be happy to see you join them. Relaying Yang's death to the remaining Lao Shu should slash their morale. Are you sure he's dead? You should drag his body, because all of a sudden you're going to come back and he's going to be gone. It's almost morning. The eastern sky was starting to pale. We walked to the Lao Shu's base to allow the morning to begin in peaceful silence. We walked into... Sorry. Oh, look at that. Ha-how! That's the end. Oh, I wonder if we get an after scene. Okay. The war with the Lao Shu ended. Dante returned uninjured, but he kept his promise of coming back... Dante returned injured, but he kept his promise of coming back alive. Dante also kept his promise with Gil and gave him rights to a portion of the Falzone's business. Because of that, Falzone family lost some of their revenue and hold on power. We should have given him... You should have been like, you take Valeno. But now, the two organizations were balanced in their protection of the town of Berlone. Nicola acted as a liaison between the two families. The undue scrutiny and rumors about the Falzone had apparently been led by the Lao Shu from the shadows. With their fall, the rumors and murmuring subsided and peace returned to Falce. As wounded as Berlone was, the town slowly headed to the way it was before. Healed to the way it was before, sorry. I woke up to the morning sunlight. We went back to the church? This is the good ending? I couldn't remember exactly, but I may have been dreaming about Dante. Also, we're missing a CG. We're supposed to get 2 in this one. It could be happens in this, but the question Dante asked me was still in my mind. Unless it's that one with the 2 versions. I don't like that. That's not really 2 CGs to me. That's 1 CG, 2 versions. You know what I mean? After the warring ended, I'd be happy if you stayed here and lived in the manor. But the church where you were raised is your home. I understand if you don't wish to leave it, so you're free to choose whichever you prefer. Even if you do return to the church, it won't change how I feel about you. It's going to be really hard to marry a man when we don't live with him, but... I didn't want to leave Dante, but... Like he said, the church was my home. Everyone there was family to me. So, I told Dante that I wished to go back to the church. Dante honored my request and sent me back to the church a few days later. And so, I returned to my usual life. Warfare and conflict among the Mafia. The Key Maiden, the Relic. As the days passed, those all felt like something I read from a storybook. But I touched the mark on my chest. Each time I looked upon it, it reminded me that all that had happened was real. I got ready as usual and headed to the church to start my cleaning duties. After finishing, I stepped outside. It was very early in the morning, but there was already someone here. I immediately dashed toward the silhouette and called out the person's name. Dante? Or Leo? Buongiorno, Dante! There he is. Early as usual, aren't you? I just finished sweeping the halls inside. Dante, if you have some time, how about we take a stroll? Dante chuckled and nodded in reply. After I returned here, he still came by every so often so we could spend time together. We walked through Arca toward the road trailing along the coastline. The morning sea breeze felt nice and cool. I sometimes remember how we lived together a while back then. Dante still came to the church to pray and to see how I was doing. Because of that, I didn't feel lonely. If you'd like, we can... Dante paused for a moment, then continued. It's like, he loves you! Just be with the man! Jesus, girl! The fuck? I want to slap her. Now I want to slap her. Why would you leave him? Live together again at my manor. You can attend to your church duties from Falce. That's an enticing offer, but I want to stay like this for a bit longer. I haven't mustered the strength to leave the church yet. I miss you when you're not around, Dante. It's one of the feelings I enjoy most. I like how he's blushing, though. It's so cute. He blushed, hearing my words. He was blushing, being like, we could live together. You could move in with me. Oh, and you crushed his dreams. CG? Oh. Okay, we did get 2. It's so precious. Oh, a forehead kiss. He then passionately approached me. That doesn't seem passionate. I mean, it's loving, but like, how cute. By the time I noticed how close he was, huh? It's adorable. His hand gently caressed the nape of my neck. His lips lovingly pressed upon my forehead. It's so adorable. It took a short while for me to understand what happened. Suddenly I began to blush. But I was so happy to be in his presence, to feel his body so close to me. I smiled at his comforting, yet slightly ticklish touch. With all due honesty, I had no idea what the future held for me. Even Dante said that he didn't know what future awaited the foul zone in the Visconti. All I knew was that I wanted to continue living in peace here in Berlone. I wanted to live with the man who fought for this town, with the young mafia boss. Best ending was best. I liked all the stuff in this ending, but I'm just a little like, girl! Go live with him! I also wish they translated the fucking, like, Italian and the Latin in this. You know what I mean? It's, like... So anyway. We have to go to chapters. So, that was our good ending. We're going to get our tragic bad ending. There's 2 other bad endings, but we're doing the tragic bad endings. So we are supposed to go to Dante chapter 7 with low affinity and low respect. Yikes. And we get to skip all of our stories, so. Oh, we only have we have one that we get to do. Okay. Oops. We skip all of our meanwhile stories. Oh, wait, hold on. This is... No. We skip reaction. Hold on. We skip irritation. Okay. There's one we do, but we have to, like... So I don't know which one it is unless I skip up. I think it comes later. I don't think we do any of those, but I just, you know. I knew you'd come for me. Oh, chapter 8 this time has a different title than the other ones. So that might be where we get our end. I knew you'd come for me. I knew you'd come for me, Dante. Oops. Whoops. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but I didn't give up hope. I even thought about escaping through the window. Don't ever think of doing that again. You know I'll come for you. Thank you, Dante. We may have been apart, but his very existence supported me throughout the ordeal. Okay. Because here's the thing. What the fuck? Yeah, go away, pop-ups. Don't care, Jesus. These 2 we skip. Back, skip. We skip deliberate and bar. There's scolding that we're supposed to do. Okay, we skip that one. So it's kind of fun that in the bad endings there's different side stories. Okay, we skip this. Whoops, we skipped this one, sorry. So most of this is the same, except for there's going to be a new scolding. And then chapter 8 is totally different. Oh, but this is where we do another save file. And then we go back, and that'll be where we get a different bad ending. So I'm assuming... Oh, this is going to be long, too. Our hearts bonded tonight. Wait, did we get boned again? Wait, what? Wait. Did that happen in chapter 7? Wait, no. That happened later. Anyway. Ooh, others. Why didn't you answer the phone? It's part of our contract. Stop making excuses. Fine. Yes. It's a promise, but... Yes, as long as you understand. But next time I expect a timely report. Interesting. Wait, what? That was the meanwhile story. Hold on, I want to go back for a second. I'm sure we can do something. That's when we kissed. Our hearts bonded tonight. And then we just came back here, right? But for some reason we didn't skip, and with it my wish for a better future, a future where nothing would be lost. I think that was the same. I think we had already read that. Isn't that the same as the last time? I don't know. Well, this might not be because this is a different chapter 8. Yeah, and I have a feeling none of this is, okay. Good morning, Dante. So these endings aren't like, oh my god, and then they went like, where we get through the good ending, but he dies instead of getting the happy ending. You know what I mean? It's a complete, these endings take longer than playing the whole fucking route. Like, shit. Because we gotta go through this whole entire chapter, all a bunch of different, and then we get chapter 9 is where the bad ending happens, and then the 2 other ones might be shorter. But, like, we ain't finishing it in this part. Again. Like, holy fuck. Anyway. Good morning. Greeting each other in the morning was nothing unusual, but for some reason it felt awkward today, because we made out. Dante took a seat as I prepared breakfast, but the atmosphere seemed uncomfortable. What happened feels like a dream. This is the same. Dante quickly looked at me, then spoke hesitantly. I apologize for what happened yesterday. It must have been because of my fever. It's technically a different chapter 8, but it's the same conversation we had. I was stunned hearing his words, but I quickly replied, yes, it's all right. I understand. Are you feeling better now? Hearing me stutter, Dante frowned as if discontent with my reply. You understand what? What do you mean? You had a fever and you weren't feeling like yourself yesterday, right? It's okay, I'm fine, really. Wait. No, I worded myself poorly just now. Huh? He looked straight at me and spoke in a serious tone. I love you. See, this is the only thing. It's because it's stuff like this. If it's one line, like it's like we read that one line. Okay, fine. This is all the same, but it doesn't count it as being the same because the title of the chapter is different because a majority of the chapter is going to be different. But this text is still exactly the same. But I guess, again, it's because here's original chapter 8, whether you're going down the good, one of the good endings. Here's chapter 8 when you're going down the bad. So this conversation's exactly the same, but we can't skip it. And I don't like that. Like, I don't need to reread this conversation. Like, we're gonna, because I can't skip it. But, like, it is kind of weird to me. Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, just let us skip the stuff that we've actually read, you know? His honest and direct admission made my heart leap. You love me? Dante's expression became cloudy, seeing that I wasn't immediately responding. With a mix of confusion and remorse, Dante spoke apologetically. Space, have I upset you? I'm sorry. No, that's not it. I felt like I'd seen many different sides to Dante since yesterday. Breakfast is ready. Let's eat. I stuttered as I motioned to the food. Thanks to our short conversation, the tension in the air was alleviated somewhat. After we finished breakfast, we returned to discussing our current situation. Yang mentioned that he won't kill us yet. If he is after the relic, that would make sense. Which means we're safe for now? Again, this is all the same too. Possibly, but I doubt it'll last for very long. Do you have a plan? Yes, I'm thinking of using myself as bait to make a deal with the Lao Shu. Okay, that might be different. Bait? Those words didn't bode well. Clearly Dante was going to put himself at risk. Okay, this part might actually be different. I was like, oh, so Yang won't kill us. Okay, we started talking about this, but I don't think he said he was going to put himself as bait. Okay, never mind. The Lao Shu and the church are likely working together to oust the Falzone. But the church is protecting the relic, so they don't want to see its seal broken. The Yang is showing a keen interest in the blessing granted by the relic. So Yang is actually trying to break the seal to the relic? It's entirely possible, though he does still wish to drive out the Falzone family. I may be able to strike a deal with Yang if I can leverage the differences in objectives between them. And that's how he dies. But a deal? With Yang? I doubted Yang was open to making deals. I need to head back to the manor and prepare myself if I'm to negotiate with the Lao Shu. And get your belongings together. I'll call for someone to pick us up. Understood. Julia greeted us back at the Falzone Manor. Did that just skip something? Oh, whoops. Oh, God. Oh, God. See how badly that is? Oh, so here you go. So, it doesn't have the thing. But, like, see how the flower's, like, not colored? It's not even... This is bad. That's how you know it's bad. It looked better than that. Nope. It still doesn't... I just... Anyway. Julia greeted us back at the Falzone Manor. Oh, my. How wonderful it is to see you return. I'm glad you're both safe. Young Dante, I heard you were sick. Are you feeling well now? I'm fine. As we conversed, upper members of the family started to come into the salon. I came as soon as I heard you were back, boss. I'm glad to see you're safe. With all that's been happening, I appreciate your taking the time to see me, Domenico. Please, seeing you is more than enough reason for me to drop my work. I sighed with relief. It felt good to see familiar faces around me like Julia's. It feels like I've come home. I must ask you for a favor. Please gather our key members here tonight. Yeah, understood. I'll let everyone know. Dante would most likely inform them of the deal he was thinking of making with Yang. I still didn't feel good about it, but I prayed that it all worked out for the best. I was cooped up in the hotel for a few days after running outside to get a doctor, which is why I was now outside in the garden to get a breath of fresh air. The air was cold. I could tell very easily that winter was just around the corner. I felt something warm along my feet and looked down to see a small figure rubbing against my legs. It's definitely Carlo, because otherwise, Leo, that's weird behavior. Carlo, there you are! I gently brought Carlo to my arms to pet his soft, furry body. How about we spend some time together, Carlo? I found a bench and sat myself down. The cold in the air was no match for Carlo's warmth. But... scolding, too. I'm assuming that was Roseburg, right? You know, finally you called. So explain why nothing is happening now. I'm not paying the Lao Shu to simply do nothing. Definitely. That won't change anything. Make something happen. I need to finish my plans before he moves. He's not in the position to actively partake in these affairs, but if he does, the only one who can stop him is the Pope himself. Are you talking about Emilio? I feel like you're talking about Emilio. But I couldn't shake this nervous feeling. Is it really going to work out? Dante said he'd make a deal with the Lao Shu, but I worried it wouldn't go as planned. It's not going to go as planned, I can tell you. But I'm sure Dante can pull it off. I feel like this is, I mean, come on. This is, it's the tragic ending. Dante's going to die. I kept mumbling those words to myself to stave off the anxiety growing within. A cold breeze blew through the garden. It was getting quite chilly. Evening fell upon us as I quickly headed back into the manor with Carlo. I made my way back to my room before dinner when I saw 3 men talking in the corridor. I don't recall seeing them here very often. Weird how the underboss hasn't been around in any contact with us recently. He must be referring to Nicola? I heard that he's been seen around the Visconti place recently. Maybe he's following the boss's orders. Well, I didn't hear anything about it. Doubt the boss would hide something from us. Dante probably hasn't told everyone about Nicola's betrayal yet. Consigliere? Do you know anything, Consigliere? I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway. Advisor. Consigliere. So he's the advisor? He must be one of the highest ranked in the family, and yet no sprite for him. The elderly man spoke slowly and calmly. The boss has his plans. All we need to do is to follow his orders. Yeah, I don't want to sound like an old lady. Oh my god, it's Sister Sophia! I'm just kidding. But the boss still lacks experience. Is he able to steer our family right? That's about it from you. But... Consigliere? I don't know how to say that. Anyway. He is our boss, and our duty is to place our complete trust in him. That is what it means to be a family of the Mafia. Understood? Understood. If the boss believes in us, we'll do our best to follow him. They continued on their way, not noticing that I'd been eavesdropping on them. Dante became a boss at a young age. He must have been through so much. I can only assume how often he was opposed simply because of his youth. The amount of pressure he bore upon his back was unimaginable. Space? What are you doing? Oh, Leo! I turned around to see Leo passing by. Nothing at all. I was just heading back to my room. But dinner's almost ready. We'll be waiting in the salon. Huh? It's already that time. And Julia must be happy you both returned. She got everything ready a lot faster than usual. Yeah, I'm gonna go and let the boss know, so please feel free to go down ahead of us. Understood. Thank you, Leo. I left Leo with a smile and went down to the salon with Carlo in my arms. Wow. Dinner had started, but the air was heavy. It seemed dinner tonight was more significant than usual. We're having our consigliere and our top brass dining with us. Consigliere? I don't know, anyway. So I'm going to help with the preparations and sit out at dinner tonight. Well, then I should stay in my room and... Don't worry, I'd like you to join. Huh? But Dante, are you sure? Yes. Yeah, I can only assume things will improve with the boss's return. And I remember getting restless with his long absence from the manor. Amid the tension were the men who were speaking in the corridor earlier. I'm sure the boss has planned to turn things around from the present situation. I'd assume so too. I'm eager to hear what you have to say, boss. I must say, I don't think we've ever been under this kind of pressure before. How times it changed? It's mighty different from when the old boss ran things. I was becoming irate at how they spoke to Dante in such a belittling manner. But all I could do was listen and keep my mouth shut. This is when you're like, hey, he's your boss and you'll show some fucking respect or I'll show my boot to your face. Oh my god. Dante is our bitch. We're gonna be the tough one and we're gonna keep the family in line. They're gonna be like, oh no, it's okay. You can talk to the boss, just watch out for his wife. I will beat you down. Talk to my man that way. Don't worry, sweetie. I'll teach him a lesson. She's too good. Boss, I heard our lady here is key to our facing the Lao Shu in the church, but I must disagree with you having an outsider like her attend our gathering. The man at the table turned to look at me. I wasn't sure how to respond. Do you doubt the man I love? It was then that Dante spoke in a calm manner. She isn't an outsider at this point. Also, I'd rather not discuss our predicament over dinner, which is why I have her here with us. Are there any objections? No, if that's what our boss has decided, I have no objections. I glanced at the man. By his expression, it was clear that he wasn't happy. Another member coughed and cleared his throat, then began to speak. May I haven't seen our underboss, Nicola, around recently. Dante's expression changed slightly. That's enough. I also heard he's been seen frequently around the Creta district. Do you know anything, boss? None of what you've said is true. Is that so? Dante's uncompromising denial had the elder members looking quite upset. Dante could just be like, he's working on orders from me. Soon, silence took over the salon. The tension was worse than before. He's on a secret mission that I can't tell you about. With dinner over, Dante gathered the advisor and the top brass in his office. He told me to come too, but is it really okay for me to be here? I was sure the others didn't want me there. My presence might even make matters worse. The Falzones aren't ready to face anyone, especially with our lack of manpower. Therefore, I'm planning to negotiate with the Lao Shu for a temporary truce. Dante's words sparked clamor in the room. Yeah, I mean, this is like a bad fucking idea. Like, Dante, this is a bad fucking idea. Truce with the Lao Shu? It seems bold, boss. Wait, we can't do that, boss. There's no telling what they'll ask for in exchange. I'm prepared to negotiate with the Lao Shu. I also have an ace in hand as well. Dante briefly glanced at me. Prepared how? And what is this ace in hand? I can't answer that. I need you all to trust me. As you wish. The Falzone family will follow the boss's orders. I cannot do an old man voice right now. He keeps slipping because there's so many other voices going on. Like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. The family's consigliere bowed his head, silencing any murmurings from the others. That's all. I thank you for your attendance. Dante's gaze prompted them to leave the room. Those who lived in the manor seemed satisfied, but the others left with a hint of dissatisfaction on their faces. Dante and I were the only ones left. Whew. Dante gave a deep sigh. As expected, it's not easy speaking this way to the old guys. I could tell Dante was trying to break the tension that had built up in the room. I'm surprised you said that, Dante. I've handled my share of situations, but it was especially tough when I became a boss. I see. I thought you were, well... Dante chuckled at my hesitation to finish my sentence. Go on. Well, I thought you've always been calm and serious since you were little. And of course I wasn't. It is true that since childhood I've been groomed to one day take over as boss. And I did what I could to fulfill that, but I doubt I was any different from any other child. Dante closed his eyes and reminisced about his childhood days. Back then I cursed at fate for having been born into the mafias of Falzone. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you sitting in the corner? So fucking weird, Bird. As a child, I hated my life. I didn't want to live here. After all, Father was a very strict person. I'm surprised to hear that. Is that so? You're doing your best as boss, and I think you have what it takes. I know it sounds odd, but it just suits you. I'm sorry, I can't seem to word it any other way. Dante squinted his beautiful eyes, then let out a chuckle. Suits me. Dante calmly continued as if he were remembering the good old days. Many of the adults around paid their respects to me, even as a child. Sorry. Nicola was different. He didn't seem to care who I was to become. Dante... It had been a while since Nicola betrayed the family. Dante hadn't spoken of him since then. I could only be a normal child when I was with Nicola. His eyes flickered with emotions. Emotions of concern, of regret, of sorrow. After Father died, the adults around me began treating me as a boss. But nothing changed with Nicola. I was happy and placed my full trust in him. Oh, and this is where it stabs you. And the thing is we're going to end this bad ending not knowing that why Nicola did what he did. And you're just going to be like, Dante died thinking Nicola hated him and he loved him so much and it's so sad. We know the truth, but I always saw him as my brother. I'm sure Nicola has his reasons. I'm sure of it. I just had to speak up. Dante not only looked sad, but his voice was filled with pain. He does look sad. His little sprite was so sad. You didn't tell everyone what happened with Nicola because you believe in him, right? Yes, but as you say, it's simply my attempt to believe in him. To believe that Nicola wouldn't betray me. Dante, he didn't. If my decision results in significant harm to the Falzone family, then I'll kill Nicola with my own hands. Meanwhile, that's a heavy way to I'll kill him with my own hands. Meanwhile, proposal. The Falzone contacted us requesting to meet. What should we do, Yang? I'll think about it. Please decide by tomorrow. I'd like to get it out of the way. Are you listening, Yang? A meeting with me? I wonder what they're planning. They'd better make it interesting or else I'll end what I started here. Yang is such a feisty bitch. Consumed. Nicola or Gilbert? Gilbert, okay. Well, it's Gilbert's house, so it's going to be Gilbert or Nicola, right? Understood. You can leave now. I sent my subordinate out after hearing his report. I guess the tides are changing. I know Dante Falzone's all about honor, which is respectable, but can only go as far as it brings prosperity to the Visconti. What to do? Because he knows what's happening. He spoke with sorrow and resolve. I prayed from the bottom of my heart that his faith in Nicola wasn't misplaced. Hold on. We're eventually going to have a save file too here, so I'm just going to go. On save file 2? Yes. Okay. Get back. All right. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's before the next choice anyway, because that's where we're going to get another bad ending. We get a bad ending off our bad ending. How fun is that? Oh my god. With morning upon us, I enjoyed a nice breakfast prepared by Julia. Julia, your fava bean puree is incredible. With a nice Chianti. Somehow I can never make it this smooth. The beans brought out the natural sweetness of the vegetables. It was exquisite. I'm more than happy to make more for you and young Dante. If there's anything else you'd like to eat tonight, please let me know. Really? Thank you. I'm coming through. I brought you some dolce. Enjoy. Wow, thank you, Leo. Breakfast time was flying by compared to yesterday. I was having so much fun. But Dante wasn't in the salon today. Julia, do you know where Dante is? Oh, young Dante stepped out very early this morning. Do you know where he went? Unfortunately, he didn't say. I see. You don't suppose... Did Dante leave for the meeting with Yang? He went to Valeno all by himself? No, knowing him, he'd never take that kind of risk. But anxiety weighed on my heart. Huh. Is there something on your mind? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. I tried not to dwell on the thought and continued eating silence. Well, I mean, he's not going to die in that meeting then, if that's where he went, because we don't get our tragic ending until chapter 9, and then why would we create a save file here before a choice that's going to be the difference between bad ending 1 or bad ending, tragic bad ending or other bad ending, you know what I mean? So. How about a cafe latte after your meal? Grazie, Julia. I'd love to have one. I accepted Julia's kind offer when all of a sudden... I stood up from my seat at the sight of Dante walking into the salon. Dante, where did you go so early in the morning? To church. Is there a problem? That's right. Today is Wednesday. Dante always visited the church early in the morning on Wednesdays. I would have come with you if I'd known you were going. I was thinking about inviting you, but it was very early. I assumed you were tired since we only returned yesterday. I thought you might need some rest. Dante spoke in a light tone, and I appreciated the kindness of his words. But of course, next time I'll make sure to let you know when I go to the church. Promise? Don't forget. Oh, he's gonna die, sweetie. It's okay. Yes. Dante smiled and nodded, and Leo ran into the salon to greet him. Leo's like our child. Daddy's home! Fucking love him. Boss, what timing? I'm glad you're back. I have a call from Domenico. I can connect him to your office, boss. I'll be right there. And just when he returned, too, I suppose being a boss is hard work. I thought on what I could do for Dante to help lighten his load. It was pretty cold this morning. Maybe I can bring him a cafe latte. I stood in front of Dante's office, straining my eyes to hear when I should enter. Straining my eyes to hear when I should enter. I think it's supposed to be straining my ears. Although, the funny, weird thing about this is you're always like, I can't hear properly, my glasses aren't on. If you can't see properly, you can't hear properly. Like, or like, I can't see where I'm going unless I turn down the radio. Like, it's a weird sense thing. But you wouldn't be like, I'm straining my eyes to hear when I could enter. And yet at the same time, you're straining your eyes and your ears, you're squinting, and you're like, straining your ears. It makes no sense, but it makes absolute sense. I don't hear him talking. It seemed as though he had finished his call. I decided to knock lightly on the door. I waited for Dante to respond. Come in. With that, I opened the door and entered his office with a tray in hand. I brought you some cafe latte. I hope it keeps you warm. Grazie. I set down the cafe latte on Dante's desk. He picked up the cup and took a sip. After he savored the warm drink, he spoke in a hesitant manner. About the call I got from Domenico. I had him contact Yang to set up the meeting. He called to let me know the results. So then, what did he say? He said he'll talk. Yang agreed to listen to our offer. I don't know what he's thinking, though. Thought he was going to refuse. In any case, the first obstacle has been cleared. I see. It's good to hear. But what? It's under one condition. Yang said that he won't talk unless you're there with me. Me? I was surprised, but mostly relieved. Is that it? I'll do anything I can to help. It's a bit scary being near Yang, but I felt a chill run down my spine, recalling my previous encounter with him. Oh, she's gonna have all sorts of chills when we're in his route, because like, no, my god, don't judge me, but I like it. But no, I hate you, but I love you. I'll be fine as long as you're with me. You've been helping me more than you should. And to think that it was my mission to protect you. Don't worry, I'm just happy to be of some help to you, Dante. And she actually is helpful. You know what I mean? She's not like fawning damsel. Like, they don't constantly throw her into danger. They might put a little bit of danger in her path, but it's not like constant where like, oh my god, how did you ever manage to live this long? You know what I mean? Like, where she takes a breath and she's in danger. She falls off cliffs. She's actually like pretty good at navigating this and like dealing with the stuff. Like, you know? I don't know. I do actually really like the MC in this. Like, just the way they've kind of written her is like, yes, she still gets a little embarrassed by things. Understandable. She's still a little naive. Understandable. But, like, she's adapts pretty well to things. And she's like, nah, I'll hop out. And she's not like, I went to help. And she's not like fucking danger-prone Daphne where you're like, I went to help, but I fell down the stairs and I ruined everything. Oh, for fuck's sake. You know? And, like, the men don't actually, like, even in all, so far in the endings we've seen, like, every once in a while, it's like they'll put her in danger and they'll do a quick rescue thing. But like, okay, but she's not in danger constantly. And like, you know, I mean, yes, she's in danger constantly, but it's the nature of the situation of the game. But I feel like she can handle herself in those situations. Like, oh my god, we're running. Like, Leo and I are running because when Yang was chasing them, like, it wasn't Yang at first, but you know what I mean? And then like, yes, Dante came and saved her ass, but he knows how to wield a gun. We don't. So it's understandable and I don't feel bothered by it. I think, like, in my head I'm thinking of, like, Hakuoki, where all the men always had to save our ass. Oh, we have taken lessons and yet you don't know how to hold your sword or fucking use it? You useless piece of shit? Like, and in this it's like, even Dante hands her gun, I don't know how to use this. He's like, do this. Okay. And if she had to use it, bitch would have done it. She's like, alright. I'm gonna go run through the streets to save you, and, like, I'll take this gun and I'll figure it out. Like, I don't know. She's just, like, more realistic and just not, oh, again, you useless piece of shit. A lot of times the fucking MC heroines are like, oh, for fuck's sake. Some of them are fine, but so far, she's just one of the more likable ones. Like, one of the top tier kind of ones. Like, especially because she's not even as embarrassed half the time as Dante is. He feels more embarrassed than she does half the time, and I think that's adorable as fuck. And she giggles about it. She's like, I'm embarrassed. Oh my god. She's like, it's cute you're embarrassed. Like, anyway. Thank you. And the meeting will take place tomorrow night. If negotiations with the Lao Shu break down, we'll have an all-out war with them. We'll have to see what she's like in other routes. Who knows, but in the worst-case scenario, I'll ensure your safe escape from Berlone. But hearing his plan made me feel uneasy, as if negotiations were likely to fail. I mean, it's Yang, and he's gonna die. Dante seemed to read my feelings and tried to ease my fears. It's always best to be prepared. Of course I'll do whatever I can to prevent the worst. Not until chapter 9 anyway, so we're not gonna die in this. Okay, we're gonna die in this meeting and our other bad ending, I would guarantee. But this one, no, it goes further. I simultaneously felt fear and hope. I prayed that our meeting tomorrow would go according to Dante's plan. I returned to my room so I wouldn't get in the way of Dante's preparations. I looked down under the door and saw that a white envelope had been shoved inside. What's this? I opened the door and picked up the envelope. It's addressed to me. I wonder who it's from. Orlok or Nicola. I decided to open the envelope and see what was inside. Poison! It's poison gas! I read the letter that was enclosed and gasped when I saw who it was from. It's from Nicola? I can't imagine Nicola coming here in person to deliver it. Who brought the letter then? I continued reading. The letter spoke of how Nicola's betrayal of the Falzone family was unwilling. He wants to talk to me about Dante? The letter also mentioned that he could offer help. Knowing Nicola, that sounds possible. He knew about the Mafia in great depth, far beyond any information I had myself. Dante wouldn't accept his offer to help due to his betrayal. The letter went on to say that Nicola wanted to offer help from a distance. I wonder, okay, because I see the choice that's coming up, and I'm really wondering if... Hold on, wait, okay. Hold that thought. The letter went on to say, okay, hold on. The letter ended with the message, I'll be waiting at the church today, 5 p.m. What should I do? Here we go. Okay, here's the choice. We're going to tell Dante about it. If we go alone, I want to say that Nicola's going to basically kidnap us, because I feel like that one of the Meanwhile stories, when Gilbert was on the phone, what the fuck? Because he knows that Dante is going to make a deal with the Lao Shu, right? And they're trying to get me away. Maybe because Nicola doesn't want Dante. Don't do it. Don't go over. You're going to get killed. But if we take me, kidnap me, Dante won't go to that meeting. But if Dante shows up to the meeting without me, he might die. But if we're there, maybe he won't. Because we're still going to go through this unless the meeting doesn't take place until chapter 9. We've got a couple more like meanwhile stories and stuff to go in this chapter before we get chapter 9 is where our tragic end happens. So maybe he dies in the meeting, and then this is the if I go alone, maybe I end up dead. Okay? I don't know, but go alone is the bad choice. And actually, whoops. I'm going to actually save here. This would be better. 92. Let's actually save over this. Yes. That's even better. Then we don't have to load. So we're supposed to... Oh, God. Tell Dante. Okay. I better let Dante know. I couldn't just act on my own accord. Not only that, but Dante trusted Nicola. If what was written in the letter was true, then they'd be able to reconcile. Smart choice. In a bad ending already. I'm sorry to bother you again, but could we talk? What is it? I found this in my room. I handed the letter to him, and as he read it, his expression went stern. I have no idea who slipped the letter under my door. I haven't informed anyone here of Nicola's betrayal. He must have ordered one of our men outside to act as a messenger. Dante looked at the letter again, then gave a deep sigh. This is troubling. Yes, which is why I wanted to let you know. I mean, that's true. Nicola could have absolutely walked right in. Hey, guys! No, I'm actually just working on a secret thing for the boss. Don't worry about it. There's no guarantee this letter came from Nicola. It does look like his writing, but someone could have forged it. And if this is from Nicola, then his intention in giving you this letter is... It may be dangerous, but I'll need to go. I'll head to the church at 5 p.m. Can I come, Dante? I mean, it was sent to me, after all. If this is a trap, then you'd just be putting yourself in danger. And I don't want that to happen. But you'd be in danger too, Dante. Yes, that's true, but... You're willing to risk it because you still believe in Nicola, right? If you believe in Nicola, then I will too. Dante stared at me for a moment, contemplating what to do. He then sighed and nodded in agreement. Fine, let's go together. Thank you, Dante. I beamed at Dante, who, in contrast, was frowning with hesitation. I don't know, he's smiling at me, so... We disembarked the car before the church and continued the rest of the way by foot. The music is so good in this game. I didn't expect to visit the church a second time today. I suppose this fulfills my wish for us to go to church together. I was thinking of asking you to come with me next Wednesday. And that is, if it's no bother. Of course it's no bother. Thank you. Despite keeping the conversation light, I could tell Dante was keeping a wary eye on our surroundings. Seeing Dante with his guard up as we walked to the church reminded me of who he was. It's been a while since I've been here. We both looked at each other for a moment before opening the doors to the church. There were people inside praying. We decided to sit in a pew ourselves to pass the time before they left. Yeah, there's nothing like weirder than, oh, okay, you're trying to pay church, and then there's like a mafia dude just like pacing back and forth in the back. You're like, okay, gotta get out. One by one, the parishioners dispersed, leaving the area to me and Dante. Dante looked down at his watch. It's well past the time already. Maybe he isn't coming. Or maybe he noticed me here and left. Too bad. Dante sighed in disappointment. As for me, the tension in my shoulders eased a bit. CG? We get 2 CGs in this one, too. It feels strange, us sitting here together. What do you mean? I gazed at Dante and waited for his response. He looks so sad and beautiful, but he's so sad. He then began to speak somewhat hesitantly. Wow, I can't read. I've known you for a long time, ever since I was little. Really? Yes. I knew that I would find you here each time I came to church. But I didn't have the courage to speak to you. Oh, it's kind of adorable. He was an awkward child, too. I heard from Father that I was to protect the Key Maiden. When I learned that it was you, I was happy about it. I didn't know you'd been coming here for so long. Many visited the church each day. I only started to notice him after he became boss. I'm not surprised. It wasn't often that I was able to leave the manor before. The only time I came here was with my father for Sunday Mass. Also because I knew you were the Key Maiden. I didn't want to interfere with your life so that you wouldn't be called to your fate so soon. And that's why I tried as much as possible to not get involved with you. He gave a wry smile and spoke as if belittling himself. It's so funny because, like, the Key Maiden and they need to be united. And, like, what happens if, like, he was such an appalling, douchey person and we were just a vile bitch? I mean, we were raised by the church. We're not going to be, like, a vile bitch. But you never know. We could have been completely abhorrent people, both of us. And then, like, oh, we got to... Well, I guess we're never breaking the seal. Fuck you, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? What if we were a horrible, bitchy shrew? Or he was just, like, Yang. Yang wouldn't give a shit. He'd be like, you're my possession. I own you. And we're going to be fine when that happens in his route. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're supposed to be... We were basically made for him. We belong to him. We're, like, whatever. Fated in a way. And it's like, yeah, but it's cool because he's, like, squishy, soft marshmallow boy. And we love him, you know? Yeah. He gave a wry smile and spoke as if belittling himself. How ironic. And the person I was fond of turned out to be the person I was charged to protect. And yet I didn't want to get close to you. Dante was thinking and feeling these things about me from that long ago. And then we have these touching moments like this that, like, as a kid, he was like, she's cute. Like, oh, you little puppy love. So sweet. Hearing it now brought both warmth and a sharp pain to my heart. I know it isn't right for me to say this, but I'm just happy to be with you like this now. Dante... He's such a fucking marshmallow, though. Like, he's a good boy. I know he's in the mafia, and we're not supposed to think that, and, like, maybe he'll be an ass in other routes, and, like, whatever, but, like, he's such a good boy in his good routes, even in his bad ending. Dante looked into my eyes and slowly reached his hand out to mine. He's like a pure little soul in, like, a mafia world. It's so weird. But now I know there are some things worth protecting, beyond what my duty commands. You are that very one. Even if I were to lose everything, I promise to God that I'll protect you. Oh, he's so gonna die. Thank you, Dante. He's so gonna die! Meanwhile, story. We'll do that and finish this, and then we'll wrap it up. I can't believe the endings took 3 parts. I assumed Dante wouldn't let the others know I betrayed the family, but my bet didn't turn out in my favor. Everything was decided the moment I saw the 2 of them appear at church. I left the grounds quickly before they noticed I was there. I guess I have no other choice. Well, not that I have much of a choice anyhow. Interesting. Sunlight from the setting sun shone through the stained glass windows as we looked at each other. Soon the haze of warmth paled in a dusty purple light, signaling the coming of the night. Is he really going to betray us this time? Wanting to avoid any risks with staying too late, Dante beckoned for us to leave. All right, so this is a little under time, but it's okay. We are going to, I guess we'll get our bad ending in the next part, and then maybe, I don't know. These are so long. We could literally do the game and do like, here's our happy ending. Okay. And then we do, here's our good ending. And then we do a whole part just for a tragic ending. I mean, we're just going to do what we do. What we've set up now for this is we're just going to do all of our endings. We'll get our happy ending. Oh, see our CG, stare at the CG at the end, and then just do all of our bad endings / and our good ending. But well, no, because our good ending started this part off, didn't it? Yeah. And we already went 10 minutes over on the last part. Like, these endings are so... I'm not complaining about them, not at all. It's like, I just cannot believe that the good ending and then the tragic ending and everything are so meaty. They have so much to them, and there's so much more to the story, because usually, you know, you've got your super happy ending and then your good ending is slightly different, but not much. I mean, sometimes, yes, you get, like, the good ending does take a little while, but I cannot recall a game where our good ending took over an hour to get. Like, maybe 30 minutes because maybe you have a little after scene, but you never spend, like, we spent over an hour getting just the good ending because there was so much to it. Or the tragic ends. Yeah, sometimes we've gotten a lot of bad endings, but it's like, make a bad choice here. Oh, and then there's 5 minutes because they die. And then you do this, and this is dead. Like, and now even this tragic ending has taken us like 40 minutes to do or something. Like, it's going to take about an hour. Like, there's so much to these. Like, I'm pleased. Like, I can't believe how much meat there is to these other endings. I'm sure the other two bad endings will probably be quicker. You know what I mean? Like, when we say open save one and do it, it'll be a choice. We get a bad ending and it won't be as much. It'll be like the standard way we get bad endings in games where they're pretty quick, like quick hits. But I really thought, okay, we'll get our endings and then we'll read the side story. That's not happening. There's 3 parts to just do the bad endings, like, and the good ending. Other endings. But man, this game excites me. There's so much. So anyway, 1 more part maybe. I don't know. 6 more parts. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and maybe we'll finish our bad endings. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.